This is a press conference of the Diocesan Laity Council of Kaduna. Ours is simply titled, "A Nation Under the Shadow of the Cross, a Demand for Action." My brothers and sisters in Christ, fellow citizens of this country, and all people of goodwill gathered here today, we stand together not just as members of the council, but as a family that is grieving, a family that is wounded, a family that is utterly and completely weary of the burying its own. Our hearts are not merely heavy, they are shattered. They are shattered by the unrelenting, brutal wave of violence that has claimed the lives of our spiritual fathers, our priests, and the steadfast pillars of our community, our lay faithful. When a priest is kidnapped, it is not just a man taken. It is a community rendered shepherdless. It is the sacrament denied, the comfort withheld, the voice of Christ silenced in that village. When a lay faithful, a catechist, a mother, a father, a breadwinner is murdered, it's not just life lost. It is the cornerstone ripped from the foundation of the church, leaving children orphaned and families desolate. And this horror continues. We are here, our spirits crushed, against humanity itself, and perhaps most agonizing, we stand here with the sound of children's prayer, suddenly replaced by the terror of silence, as innocent children were seized from their sanctuary of a Catholic school. This is not a distant tragedy. It is unfolding in real time, right now, in the heart of our community. In recent years, the names of our fallen priests and faithful had become a tragic, reoccurring litany. How many more graves must we dig before the conscience of this nation is stirred? How many more ransom demands must be met before our government acknowledges that a dedicated servant of God should not be marked for death merely for answering his vocation? This is not a political crisis, it is a moral catastrophe. We are not here today to beg for security. We are here to demand the fundamental right granted to every citizen under our Constitution: the right to life and the right to practice faith without fear. To the government of this nation, we ask you directly, are the lives of our priests, our faithful, and our children valued? We see the robust protection afforded to political figures and economic assets. Yet, our churches, our seminaries, and the roads our priests travel to minister to the poorest are left unguarded, effectively transforming our place of worship into targets and our missions into hunting ground. The time for condolences is over. The time for endless committees and task force that yielded no visible result is past. We demand concrete, immediate, and visible action. 1, swift, transparent justice. We demand that the killers and kidnappers of our clergy, their families, and our faithful be hunted down, prosecuted, and justice, which has long been deferred, is finally delivered. 2, protection of infrastructure. We demand specific, actionable plans to secure known routes leading to high-risk areas and protect critical church infrastructure, especially the schools where we entrust our children, and the hospital that serve all citizens regardless of creed. 3, a clear security doctrine. We demand a comprehensive national security doctrine that recognizes and aggressively counters the specific threats aimed at religious leaders and institutions, which often serve as the vulnerable, which often serve the most vulnerable and marginalized communities. We have an unbroken resolve. Let the criminal elements and those who sponsor this understand. You may persecute the messenger, but you will never silence the message. The Catholic Church is founded not on sand, but on the rock of Peter. For 2 millennia, we have survived empires, persecution, and tyrants. Each time you kill a priest, you do not extinguish the flame. You only create a martyr whose sacrifice ignites the faith of 1,000 more. We will not abandon our post. We will not cease our work among the poor, the sick, and the children. We will continue to build schools where darkness reigns and hospitals where hope has fled. But while our faiths remain unwavering, our patience with inaction has reached its limit. The eyes of the world, and more importantly, the eyes of God, are watching. A government that cannot protect those who serve the community, who teach the young, and who heals the sick is a government that has fundamentally failed the people. We look to you, our leaders of the state, to restore the dignity of life, the sanctity of service, and act now, before the shadow of the cross we bear becomes a permanent darkness over our nation.